What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Very special moment for the channel here. Just a couple of months ago, this channel did not exist. GainsKeeper Trading did not exist. And today we crossed over 100 subscribers. I appreciate every one of you who's been a part of the journey so far, and I'm looking forward to building the future of GainsKeeper Trading together. As a token of my appreciation, we are giving a bonus play to the community that I would normally keep exclusively for Patreon. But once again, for all those who've subscribed, liked, and commented on all the videos, thank you again. And let's get to it. Remember, guys, this is not financial advice. So our bonus play for our 100 subs ticker is CRBP, guys, Corbis Pharmaceutical Holdings. And this is a good play for me. I like this play, but don't get me wrong, 144 million market cap. This is a risky play with a lot of potential, though. We're in the weekly chart here. You could see the volatility in this chart, and I'm going to get into the details and tell you what I'm thinking about this chart, or what the chart is telling you about what's going to happen. And for that, we're going to go to the daily chart and put all the drawings on here. So give me a second while I zoom in. I'll drop this down. We'll bring the RSI up, and we'll get to the analysis. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. So you could see this blue trend line here is very responsive, guys, and we are not there yet. And my only hesitation is that this area that the stock is trading in now could provide some support. Let me turn the indicators off. uh, Real quick. You could see we found support on this sometimes. It's a support zone, but I think it's going to be something like this. Like we might see another spike and come back down, especially after this, huge spike down that we had. You could see the market makers gapped it down. We had this first resistance here, level at 1218, and the market makers said nope, rejected, and gapped it down below the EMA lines. And I think it would be too fast of a recovery here to see prices to the upside. So I think we will consolidate a little bit before seeing an upward movement. This could be a little bit of a wait for a play, but I think the potential is worth it, guys. So let's take a look at what I am looking at, guys. And for me, the ideal, remember, not financial advice, guys, you know the deal. The ideal buy zone is this prime demand zone between 570 and 631. You could see the trend line crosses right to it, and you see these two orange lines. These are these 4-hour gaps. And for a market cap that's normally, like if you're looking at Microsoft and Apple and stuff like that, higher market cap, 4 gaps aren't as significant, but we are in a stock with a much lower market cap, so these 4-hour gaps are significant. And I could show you a perfect example. You could see here, guys, this was 4 in the morning, and the price opened here, and it dropped 60%, guys, to close this 4-hour gap. And just to close, the algos just closed this gap and responded back up over 100% within a couple hours, guys. So these volatile moves do happen in the stock. Like I said, very risky. And I think maybe something can happen like that again. If we take the price from today, you could see if we drop it, 50, 60%, it could close even this 4-hour gap here, guys. This is the extreme demand zone. That when I say extreme, like the low extreme demand zone. We're in the 4-hour chart, so you could see the buyers buying here. So something like this could happen. So be very careful where you place your orders. But do I expect it to do that? I can't say yes or no. But what I'm looking at is this prime demand zone. Because you could see even it closed this 4-hour gap. We had support on the trend line even in the 4-hour. And another thing I'm looking at, we'll move to the weekly chart as well, guys. It's a lot cleaner in the weekly chart. You could see on this trend line here, when we are oversold in the weekly chart, we have up moves. Oversold weekly chart on the trend line, oversold weekly chart on the trend line. We are just entering the oversold area, and if we touch that trend line, that would be a nice look for me. And guys, these are not small moves at all. 541% for that one. I have to zoom out for this one. Let's take a look. The total move here was over 2,000%, guys. And this last one here, 340%, guys. And, I like those kind of numbers. Like I said, it's a risky stock, but those numbers look good to me. So this is another indicator for me oversold on this trend line, and in this prime demand zone here where we found support would be ideal for me, guys. So like I said, we could see a little price action to the upside, but I think we're going to consolidate a little lower looking at the chart structure. And you can also see it's something like a repeat, not a repeating pattern, but you could see these in the weekly chart still, guys. We had this little spike here. We had a little spike here. You could see the 14 and the 20 come down and consolidate. We're starting to come down, and the 50 day in the weekly will follow it. And I think, that kind of is going to repeat the same process. And then, well, if we see something like this, that would be great. This is a this is a weekly candle, guys. This is 5 trading days, and you could see it's a massive candle. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that was to close the gap. Yeah, so the purpose of that was to close the gap. Got rejected by the $50 trigger, found support on the EMA lines, and continued. So let's say we do come back down to this, demand zone here. You could see the prices to the upside. What I like about them is that there is no real resistance between each zone, guys. So, we could see a massive move quickly, and you could see the market makers do not like having these prices above this upper breaker at 1681. This could even be a little bit of a supply zone, probably like right there. This could even be a little bit of a supply zone. So this is a zone where the price could get rejected as well. You could see the market makers, we were building strength after this long downtrend, building strength. We got caught up in this zone. Market maker said nope, gapped it down. So we have an open gap here. That's a price to the upside, guys. Same thing. We started to build strength. First resistance. Market makers did the same thing, gapped it down below the EMA lines, guys. And now we stand here. So assuming we do come down to this prime demand zone, we find an entry, our prices to the upside are these gaps. But for that to happen, we need to find support on the support trigger, guys. And every time you could see the market makers, it was getting rejected. It's kind of like a decision, same thing as the decision breaker, my lingo, guys. You could see we were about to get rejected here, and there was a huge gap, guys. And like I said, so after we find support, you could see it consolidate and then retest, consolidate, retest, and then, there's really no resistance between the support trigger and the $12 trigger. And then there's really no resistance you could see in the chart, guys, between the upper breaker. And we might find there's the weekly 200 here. I'll show you real quick. Weekly 200 weights there. It's a strong resistance. But other than that, the market makers could gap it up. So, and there's no resistance to the $50 trigger as well. And when I say $50 trigger, if we break this price and find support, the prices to the upside are much higher. So let's go over a few price goals here with some measurements. I'll drop the RSI. We don't need that right now. Say we come down, touch this trend line here. Very bare minimum, guys. $24 on the retest of the support. $24, 26% on the support of the retest of the support trigger. Too fast for my own good today, guys. 75% to this first gap. 90% to the first resistance, which I would expect would be the minimum price. If we could start forming higher highs here, you could see lower highs here. We want to do something like this, higher high, and then the final takeoff. But for low market cap stocks like this, that doesn't necessarily have to happen, guys. It doesn't have to be that healthy. So 157 to this gap, to the weekly 200, excuse me, guys, 274%. This right here is a little bit of a supply zone, a rejection zone as well, 413%. And this top gap would be 688%, guys. I don't really want to talk about these gaps to the upside. You could see we had a 1 for 30 stock split here. So I don't know if this gap could be valid, but it definitely is a price. It could be a price target for the algos. It's never a guaranteed. This would be crazy, $267, but I would say our max price would be in this range here, guys, the $62 range. So, like I said, this could be a little bit of a weight of a play, but the entry is not a wait for me. When we come down here, if we come down here, close a couple of these gaps, enter the prime demand zone, weekly oversold on here. No, not financial advice, but that's where I'll be taking my positions, guys. And that might consolidate for a little bit before we see some upside movement. Keep an eye on, delusion. Go to Fintel, check out the delusion profile. I don't see any delusion. This is just volume spikes to the downside. The delusion profile, volume profile looks good to me. Remember, it can get swept out. And so if you place your orders, make sure you work with a tight stop loss as always, guys. Once again, thank you to all the guys who subscribed, especially like, comment, and I'm looking forward to grow this together. Hope you enjoyed this content, guys, and we're going to keep growing this thing. Stay blessed.